to this computer. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. I don't even know what Thursday it is, but happy. Look at how many wonderful faces are here. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining online as well. We're so glad to see you all. And we are going to get started. I just admitted you, so you're in now. But yeah, you might want to mute him.
Because you'll do the presentation.
Yes, and then he can talk and just tell me when to move it. So, but what we're going to do is go ahead and share the screen. We're super excited to be here with David Martins, that we've been having a wonderful, candid conversation with, which, you know, he may not have liked, I don't know. But here we go. So let's just say, first of all, I want to say, you guys show me every day what it means to be premier. Showing up in force like that yesterday for Dawn was amazing. Those of you who drove all the way to Ocala last week for Tasha, again, totally premier. Showing up today in force like this is what it means to be premier. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough. You make me proud every day. So thank you. Okay.
You're invited to imagine what's next. Well, the next view you wake up to will be where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com.
So guys, if anybody wants that video, let me know. I actually recorded that. Okay, just send me a text. I recorded that live at G&E, and they've never released it that I've seen. So I'll be happy to send it to you. So we elevate everyone around us, and we do that by artfully uniting extraordinary people with extraordinary homes. So this is an exciting mission, and you guys do it so well. And today we are joined with some wonderful partners, Maria Smith, and wonderful guest, David Martins, and our wonderful team, the Martins. We've got Anna and Ohana from Martins Development. And so just to remind you all what makes us so special and unique being part of Sotheby's is we did 167 billion, guys, last year in sales volume. No one can touch that. And I want you to know we're coming out with our sales volume in Central Florida, which shows us heads and tails above everybody in the $1 million market. Nobody can touch us. We are definitely the Central Florida leader in the luxury space. So we will have that. It's coming to all offices, so you can all have that and add that to your listing presentations. Last year we did $3 billion in referral business. So why is that good for every one of us sitting here? That's who you should be farming to. Our farm is not just who we work with in terms of communities. We should be farming our feeder markets. So Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo is also our farm. So we have a lot of opportunity working with our folks down there as well. We are now not only in 81 countries, we're in 82 because we're in Istanbul, Turkey, the land of Seda. And we have over 26,000 of the world's best agents, and they all want to collaborate with you. We have, as you guys know, what's the thing called?
The New Jersey networking, New Jersey City networking event.
That one coming at the beginning of October. Emily is going. Who else is going? I know Carol Medeiros is going. Fran is going. Tasha's going. Anybody else going? Are you going, Flavia?
Something, but I'm not sure.
Flavia may be going. Are you guys going? Are you going, Anna?
No.
Oh, well, it's a great opportunity because that's a huge feeder market. We have a lot of opportunity, and make sure you're putting down on your calendar what is happening in Nashville. G&E. So we all better be going to that because that's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so for now, we're gonna let David take over. I'm gonna do the screen. I'm just gonna go do this. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Hold on a second. Let me just
Harry needs to start eating sweet.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think. Try.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear online? Can someone online unmute themselves and tell me if they can hear?
I can hear.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Okay.
All good? Can you guys hear us?
We don't know. What's the chat saying?
Yes.
All right, so that's a yes. Well, first and foremost, I wanted to thank you, Carrie, for the opportunity to come here and speak to you guys and present this opportunity. Because what I see when probably about 6 months ago, when we really started inviting other realtors into the business and presenting to them our product, everything really took off from there. Because a lot of the realtors today, they think that you guys are only having to sell houses that are finished and you guys need to go and represent sellers and do things like that. A lot of what's happening here in Orlando today, Central Florida, is spec building. And you guys could really take a chance in that and really make really good money with it. So basically, the people that come to us today are investors, and they're looking to do that financial flip, that flip with the home. So what our company does, we locate isolated lots, scattered lots, and we put up a house as quickly as possible. Typically, our build out time is about 4 months. And then you guys represent the seller, the investor that was, in there with you guys in the beginning. You guys I'll talk more about it in depth, about what we do and what you guys can do and the type of support that we provide. So speaking a little bit about us and who we are and what we do is our company is focused in the construction of homes, various sizes, including high, medium, and low small properties, high being custom builds, which is our background in Massachusetts, medium being flips, not too hot right now with flips, but and the small, because of the timeline, how quickly we build out the homes, it would fall into that category. And so working with investors for the last 9 years, we understand exactly what they need, which is transparency. They need information at their fingertips at all times. And so we adopted what's called Builder Trend, which is an app. Can you go to the next one? And basically, it's a portal for the investor where they're going to log in with their email and password, and then they're going to have a few different tools within this app. Basically, what they'll have is the construction timeline that they'll have access to, and they'll definitely have access to pictures, legal documents, everything really, and they'll be able to also communicate with the team as well. So speaking about the timeline, we get paid as a company in 5 draws, different draws. So we break our timeline in 5 different phases. So what happens with the timeline, which is really cool, is although the investor can't really see every single item within that timeline, every time that we do complete a task within that phase, they'll know exactly what happened. And for instance, 2 weeks ago, we had that hurricane come through, and so a lot of our concrete got delayed. So all the investors, they received a notice that, hey, you know what, there was a delay with the concrete, and this is the reason. And so they're informed at all times. And then the legal documents, every time there's an NOC or we get the permit card, it goes posted on there. The plans, any energy calcs, everything really. So they have access to everything that's happening.
Did you guys create this software?
We did not, I wish.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
Check business there.
Exactly. And then the other really cool thing about one of the tools that we provide is the daily logs. So literally anytime and every time something happens on your site, we'll take a picture and we'll put a brief description of what happened, so that, the investor, with both the daily logs and the timeline and the contract, because we break down every single little step that we do during the phases, they'll be able to really understand what's happening. And so they can be very comfortable with their investment. No problem. All our homes, they come fully equipped with refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, stove, all same brand. I don't do any of that mix matching. I think it looks horrible. Everything's stainless steel. We do vinyl in the main living area, carpet in the bedrooms. However, we do offer the upgrade to do vinyl throughout, which I don't recommend at this moment. But when the funds are building, when their funds are buying in the area like they did last year, Ocala, Point Siena, they don't want carpets in the bedrooms. And they'll approach you guys and say, hey, I'm interested in the home. However, I don't want carpet. And then we offer that upgrade. We also offer other upgrades, type of flooring and things like that. However, we try to limit as much as we can because it's an investment property and the name of the game is how quickly we can turn it around. And if we let the investor think that they're in the HGTV show, and all hell breaks loose.
Is it this kind of vinyl flooring?
It is. So luxury vinyl plank, we offer 20 different colors, but we have 5 that we really stick with. We have different color palettes for the homes, as well as different elevations for the homes as well. So we don't oversaturate the market with the same model over and over again. So, and this is where it gets really interesting with you guys, because you guys get to represent your buyer, your client during the lot purchase and the sale of the home. But we offer you guys support with, because I know that you guys technically shouldn't do the feasibility,
No.
but we offer you guys with that type of service. We have an engineer that he can charge to do that, but when it comes to residential, it's truly very easy, and we offer that service ourselves in-house. So what we do is, when you guys look for lots, you'll send us a list of lots, and we can guide you guys where people are having the most success at purchasing lots and building homes in the area. And we'll give you those addresses so you guys could do your CMAs and locate lots. So when you forward the lots to us, what we do is we'll drive up there, we'll take pictures of the lots, we'll check elevation, see if it has access to water or sewer. If not, what type of system we're gonna have to use. Does it have turtles? Because tortoises here are protected. If we're in the coast, blue jays are protected. If it's in wetland, flood zone, what type of flood zone? We do all of that so you guys can make sure that your investor is buying something that's truly solid and he's not gonna have any surprises. Which,
You guys don't do any mitigation, right? Because it wouldn't
We-
make sense.
no,
Unless you did custom. That makes
exactly. And
So
so
who takes down the lot, the buyer, or you take it for them and then?
you guys take it down. So we used to be able to keep lots in stock. However, we just cannot do it anymore because of the volume that we're currently getting. And the price of the lots too are also going up like crazy. So people are really, a lot of the investors, they're not only buying one lot to build one home, they're buying 5, 6 lots, they're building a house at a time, and they're taking advantage of the appreciation of the lot alone. As you guys maybe well know, that Ocala, you could buy lots in Ocala probably 5 years ago for about 10 grand, 5 grand. Now they're at $38,000. Same thing over in Point Siena. I used to buy lots there for 18,000, 65,000 now.
But where can you buy a lot for in Orlando for 65,000?
Nowhere.
No, yeah.
So that's why we're.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So good point.
Yeah.
Now, Maria, can you guys do construction and perm loans?
Yes.
So you could get a lot, you could buy a lot, right? And then
We
you
do
could
lot
do,
loans.
and then you could do a construction to perm
We
loan.
could, yeah.
Would you guys take that?
We do.
See, that's a
Yeah,
great thing.
we definitely do.
Do you only do single family or do you do townhomes as well?
We currently, we're focusing on the single family, and we're now venturing into the duplexes. But if there's a lot that does, that has townhomes, we have an engineer and architect and that works with us very closely that could draw up the plans and we could build townhomes.
So I somebody has a lot that wants to build townhomes on it or has properties, so
Yeah.
I'll put them in contact.
But
Please
remember,
do.
it has to be zoned that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do you do, is it, frame or concrete block?
so we
Good
do
question.
concrete block on the perimeter, the exterior, and then partition walls, everything will be wood frame.
Concrete block.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Both floors? Concrete block?
No, so the second floor would be wood.
Can I ask you a question? Orange County switched in, what was it, 2021, to a now allowing wood frame.
Yeah, I've seen it. It looks horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Is it counties too, or is it just ours?
So I've seen it in Polk County. The company that was doing it, they went bankrupt. Yeah,
Feel good, okay, excellent.
yeah. It's just not good finish.
Is it not gonna wait, now and they're saying that's for environment.
Yeah, it's under crap, okay. Yeah, it's for financial reasons, for them, okay. Continue, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So we, just go back one slide. Yeah, so during the feasibility period, when you're buying a lot, it's a little different than when you guys are, doing a house, when you guys are selling a home, buying a home. So 2 weeks for the feasibility is typically what we ask. It allows us enough time for us to do all our research. But the good thing is when you guys send us a list of lots or you ask us for a list of lots, that we always, every time something goes on in the MLS and the lot, we'll do our research anyway. To beat, that 15-day, and we're not trying to We're not trying to discourage the investors, like, oh, the law fell through, maybe it's not my day. So we don't do that. We try to do the research beforehand so that when you guys present the law to the investor, then it goes through. Hopefully goes through anyway. So $1,000 deposit, usually we don't put that, we don't tell you guys to put any more than that in terms of deposit an escrow.
Wow.
No more than that, $1,000, at the most $2,000 is what we usually do. And
For the
then
lot.
for the lot. And then 2 weeks to close, usually that's the timeline. And then once you guys close on the lot, then, and only then, we would sign a contract with Mars Development for the construction. And regardless of the county, we're going to ask for about 3 to 4 weeks to gather up all the documentation in order for us to apply for the permit. Now, the difference between some of the counties is how long it takes for them to approve the permit. Polk County, which I was building like crazy last year, takes a day for them to approve our permits, which is fantastic. But now in Marion County, Ocala, Oklawaha, where we're building currently, those places, they're taking between 6 and 8 weeks. However, we are getting permits issued in 5 weeks, which is phenomenal. And we are now working also with different strategies for like a master plan so that we can shave off a couple weeks there as well.
So it'd be a master plan for a community next location.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
So
they're willing to do that?
they are.
As if foreign candidate.
Yeah. No.
That's so great. That makes
Yeah,
sense,
it
because your
does.
community's already master plan. You're just doing the same thing in another location.
Exactly. So basically what we master plan is our models
Yeah.
in different like north, south, and we do it different energy calculations. And
Elevation.
And so it works out. It's going to work out phenomenally. The county promised that they'll do the best to not have to give us any revisions on the building department. So we only have to get the zoning approved, which is awesome. And then once we get that permit, basically some of the counties, they allow us to clear the lot and build a pad before the permit.
Really?
So once the permit is issued, we only do our plumbing and we hit the ground running. Some counties like Citrus, they won't let you clear, but most of the counties where we're currently building, they do, and it's fantastic because we get the permit, we already have everything ready. Next day we do our plumbing, day after we do our plumbing inspection. So it is awesome. First phase of construction. So the first real phase, like the step, will be the docks. But then the construction, the real construction, we call it in phases. So the construction has really 3 phases, which is first phase of construction is the underground plumbing, slab, the exterior wood block walls. I'm sorry, the concrete block walls. And then that's first phase. That takes about 3 weeks for us to get that done. Second phase would be partition walls, trusses, window and door installation, electrical, HVAC and plumbing. Everything will get done within those 6 weeks. And then third is everything that's finished, drywall, vinyl, carpet, all of that good stuff. And then the house is complete really for CO. Last phase is only when you guys walk in and you guys blue tape the heck out of the place and we correct everything in a week. So our houses right now, they're averaging out like 320. So so 320 is pretty affordable. We have small that we're now doing over in Oklawaha, 1,350 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's gonna be selling for about like 275.
So
That's
you
by
went to a
Ocala.
4-3, you signed it.
Oklahoma.
4-3. So go to the next slide. So I'm gonna talk about the models right now. So we're currently present in a few different areas, Ocala, Oklawaha, Citrus Springs. We're now going to Port Charlotte as well, which is getting extremely hot, that area. Point Siena, Sanford, and then now we're negotiating to parcel out of land and start building here in St. Cloud.
You need to talk to Susan Abshire because she knows about a lot of land that's not on market.
I love
That's
Susie
good.
Abshire.
Yeah, for St. Cloud.
Okay, you write down her name?
Yeah, no,
Okay, sweet. So,
Yeah, she's from Southern.
okay.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay, yeah, that all right. Thank you.
I think, can you go back one slide?
Now, guys, to mention, Of course, I'm not officially mentioning because we have no internet, so I'm not allowed to. But as you all know, we're opening a new Ocala office. So if you are working and building homes for investors up there, you can always go into our Ocala office, meet customers up there because it is a Premier Sotheby's office. It's a big office. Not quite as big as this one, but pretty big. Bigger than Dr. Phillips, actually. So really, it's big.
Expansion.
Hey, Carrie, I'm here.
So we offer different models for each different area. So what we do is Ohana, they'll do a CMA in the area and see what's really selling really quick. Size of the home, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and that's the models that we'll go with in that area. We're always creating different models, appeal to the buyer. And so currently we just started building this 4-bedroom, it should say 3 bathrooms there, 4-bedroom, 3-bath.
Well, the mansion is huge.
It is, and it has a self-standing tub, like that garden tub, that comes with the house. That's our
What does
standard.
that one run?
That one is selling right now for about $340 over in Point Siena. We just started, but we don't have anything sold in Ocala for that one yet. So that's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,865 square feet,
Hey, Ocala, are you building on your lot or are you in communities?
lots,
Okay.
all scattered lots.
So for the investors, do we get into numbers or?
Oh, we definitely will. Yeah, we definitely will. So Ocala, we're actually, can you go back one, love? We're building this one a lot. Like we have 3 different elevations for this one house over in Ocala. 1,833 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths.
And for 340?
This one is gonna, so we're seeing this model selling for 329,900. Worst case scenario is gonna be around 309.
I think you can sell a little more there. Our average sales price is, yeah, it's risen in Ocala.
Because they're.
It has recently.
And they're screwing the market as well, so.
Which
I
is-
see, I did the numbers I do numbers for Ocala every month, so I can show you the numbers. We'll see that thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then so we're doing this one with 3 different elevations and we're always looking at different things.
It depends on where you are.
yeah.
Again, but if you're
Marion Oaks.
anywhere, what side of town you are, but if you're closer to the west side, for sure, those average sales prices have really risen massively.
Okay.
Just to, is this one that you guys have already taken down the lot, this is your spec? Or it like would be 340 plus whatever the person paid for their lot?
No, so this is the sale price, 340. That's the sale price. So the construction price for a house like this one, $191,500 for the build. And this allows the client to, at the end, when they sell at that price point, to make 24% return, which is $54,000. Yeah. Yeah, it's,
What we're talking about, those were the numbers. we wanted to hear.
yeah. I'll definitely, I'll get there. And then with your construction loan, like for instance, I've run the numbers with banks and I do it all the time because now the clients are coming, they want to do that.
Yeah.
Like for instance, they need about $80,000 cash in order for them to qualify for a loan,
Yeah.
buy the lot, close, pay interest, about 80 grand. That's what's going to cost them.
Yeah.
And they're going to make $30,000, which is 34% return on their money.
Yeah.
So it's using the bank's money is the way to go. I truly believe
Always
it.
the way to go.
The
Yeah.
problem, I can't do an investment construction.
But if it's private money, like hard money,
Uh-huh.
you can.
Yeah, yeah,
And I can talk to you after.
okay.
Yeah. So like I said, we do a whole bunch of models, different areas, different cities, and we'll definitely guide the investors on what's selling the best in which area so that, they don't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
Where-
price of the lot is on top of the 190.
No, so the lot over in Ocala now, they're selling for about 35,000, between 35 and 38,000.
So 191 includes the $35,000 lot.
It does not.
It does not.
That-
So plus 30.
Plus 35.
So where have you seen, not to cut off your presentation, so
No.
you guys should wait for questions. to the
No,
end.
no problem.
Okay, I'll throw it in. Okay, with your map of everywhere you're building,
Uh-huh.
is there areas that you would say you have seen the best rate of return?
Definitely now, Ocala. Point Siena used to be my sweetheart because we used to build it so quick with the interest rate low. We would sell the home before it was even listed. So people would walk by and say, "Hey, can I put an offer in?" And then I'd put him in touch with Ohana, and she would then list it as pending.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
different. It was a different broker before. So that's how we used to do it.
No, we've.
Yeah.
which is awesome. It really works out. And everything is pointing in that direction for next year's second quarter. And, you know, hopefully interest does go down next year and we hit the ground running again. And
Yeah.
I really can't wait for that. That chaos
Me
is,
too.
that chaos is fantastic. So I always like to say it's important to always I reiterate, keep your in your client's mind that it takes about 8 months for them to see their return. And this is the timeline between buying the lot and selling the home. So they need to be a little bit patient. So it's 24% return within 8 months, not a year. So if the investor plays their cards right, we can do that twice. Because we can buy the lot, get the permit approved on the lot while we're building this home, and then once we're finished, we move on to the pre-approved lot. And it cycles a lot faster that way.
So you have people that are just one after the other.
Yes, I have investors that are doing 12 homes at the same time. And they own like 30 lots.
Wow.
When you say 8 months inside of including title, how should you consider that? Because I know your work, I think I last like 14 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So then we buy the lot for 2 weeks, but then what's the rest of the time for?
So it's 5 weeks to get the permit approved, 3 weeks to get the documentation. And then in Ocala, you know, based on our CMAs and everything we're seeing, it's not taking 60 days to sell, but we're saying that's going to take about 45 days. But we are seeing there is taking a couple of weeks for these houses to be selling.
So in the 8 months, you're assuming you're giving it like a 60-day.
45, 60 days, yeah. Window first. to
And
sell.
I can tell you because I happen to know a broker that, oh, hey, it's me. Yeah, things do at the right price point and how it's
Presentation here.
as a matter of fact,
Presentation here.
multiple offers, the
Where is it?
craziness last year. The one office that had
Kills millimeters in packing.
140 offers on a house in
Yes, it is.
24 hours was Ocala. So it's insane. There are a lot of people moving to Ocala because they know the price point is something that you can get in Ocala that you can't get anymore here. Right? Really, guys, where can you buy $340,000 for a 4-bedroom home? In Orlando.
Yeah.
Cash buyers, is that what you're getting, most of these cash buyers?
No, so right now what we're seeing is first time home buyers.
Yeah, a first-time homebuyer cannot buy a home in Orlando for $340,000. But they might actually have $340,000, right? Because they may qualify for that. They can't qualify for you know, our average sales price here in Central Florida is, you guys know what it is? $758,000. How can a first-time homebuyer qualify for that?
Yeah.
They can. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying, but could they qualify for
Send it to Karen.
$340,000? Yeah.
And
So
a lot of
that's
the houses they have in Point Siena qualify for 100% first time home buyer.
And remember, keep in mind, ever since COVID, how many people can work remote? So we have so many more people moving to Ocala who are working remote.
Yeah,
And a lot of millennials, where are a lot of our first time home buyers, right? A lot of those folks are working remote. They are. So we are seeing a lot of that. A lot of first time home buyers. And we're seeing, the other thing we're seeing in Ocala is a lot of companies moving there. So many companies have been moving there. So that's actually probably our largest area of growth for relocation. And this is exactly why, because companies know that they also can get not only the location for their company to build, so you should look at commercial right there, but they also can get their employees to get houses there, right? So all of this plays in.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so,
we have a QR code here that you guys can scan and get the numbers in English. And
Yeah,
then
this
he's
is the
just
English
gonna-
one.
He's gonna go through the Portuguese.
yeah, so a lot of our investors, they are Brazilian, they speak Portuguese, so
You guys speak Spanish?
Portuguese.
Okay.
But we speak Spanish because a lot of our
Uh,
contractors are Spanish.
I speak Portuguese. It's a mix of Portuguese and Spanish.
We speak the same, just in a different way. You speak better Portuguese, I speak better Spanish. I love that.
So, going into the numbers a little bit here with you guys, we always present 3 scenarios to the investors, you know, the pessimist, the optimist, and the probable.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the pessimist because the optimist, we don't have to prepare ourselves for it, we just embrace it. So the pessimist selling for 309, 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Ocala, 1,833 square feet. So your investor buys a lot for 35,000. He builds, it'll cost him 191,500 to build. So total investment of 226,500 bucks. So we're going to have he's going to have to pay 8% anyway for commission. So 3% to you guys, 3% to whoever's bringing in the buyers, 2% to title, 8%. And then the sales concession, we tell them that, hey, you know what, get ready because people are going to ask for sales concession. So we typically offer 3,000. And so total commission and incentive paid 27,720. So if you plug all those numbers in, we're talking a return of $24,780, $54,780 in 8 months. And then now we are seeing these 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes selling for $329,900. So it's an additional $20,000 return per year investment.
So I'm guessing the more expensive the property, right, the cost of building doesn't change, so there'll be more profit for the investor.
Correct. So there are a couple things so basically our contract is, I'm trying to think of the English word here. So we don't cost, so our price, we a fixed price, yeah. I was trying to close. So it's a fixed price contract on the build of the home. So if inflation like last year, 2 years ago, price of plywood went from $7.40 a sheet to $52. And that was on me. I absorbed it all. I didn't tell the investors
So
about
you
it.
have no increase.
I don't.
That's nice.
Not on the construction. However, in terms of infrastructure, for instance, the infrastructure, if there's water available there, we are going to have to do an extension if it's not readily available on the lot. So when we're doing our research, we're looking for lots that are very, very close to access to water, or we have water on the lot. A lot of the lots that we build, the water is actually at the neighbor's house. So it's not going to cost the investor more than about $1,000, $1,600 to do the water extension. So no more than that. We're never going to do like a couple weeks ago, I had an investor show up to my office. He's like, oh, I bought 2 lots. My wife just got her license, so she helped me.
Oh, God.
And I said, wow, okay, let me look at it. It was 600 feet away from the nearest power line.
Oh, wow.
So
Good luck.
yeah, so I talked to the Duke engineers and we needed to add 9 different energy poles to get to his lot.
Yeah, how much did that run?
$27,000. But yeah, but after they did their calculations, they were like, well, you know what? The neighbors are going to consume X amount, so it should cover your expense. So he got lucky there. He didn't end up paying anything. But I don't.
The neighbor was doing something too?
No, so basically what they do, they have a calculation of how much consumption the people around are going to, how much money the neighbors are going to generate to Duke. And they're nice enough to waive that fee because they're going to make money. Duke does.
Because they know.
A money opportunity.
Yeah.
To get it from the neighbors.
Yep.
So
Once they finally
you as
go.
a money-making opportunity, you're a money-making hour, and I won't count. But you guys, you ain't gonna make me anything, I'm gouging you. That's what Duke does.
Yes. So that's the only thing. And we try to limit those little surprises as much as we can when we're doing the feasibility study.
That's great.
So we don't want a lot that's too low because it'll cost a lot to raise it. We don't want any of that. No surprises. We're trying to move really fast. And that's really it. However, the construction for the home, the price is fixed.
Yeah, because you never know what the county's gonna charge you too, if they come out and they wanna say,
Exactly.
oh, I'm so, like, they wanna change the fire hydrant situation or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that could cost a fortune.
Yeah, and that's why I stopped building. Well, didn't stop. I slowed down over in Point Siena because you're saying, oh, we're going to now change the infrastructure. So here's $18,000 fee.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
what about impact fees? How do they
impact
go?
fees, no, that price doesn't really change.
No, does it get passed on to the customer? or-
No. That's within my construction
Oh, it is?
budget. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much does the Ocala charge for impact fees?
$1,800.
That's so cheap.
It is.
That's
If you
great.
go to Polk, it's 12 grand. If you go to
Yeah.
Osceola, it's 22,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's so cheap.
it is. I mean, it's still cheap. It definitely, they'll start rising.
They're gonna change that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get on it, Mons. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do most of your investors buy them to just sell them, or do they rent them out, keep them long term?
95% of them, they'll sell it and they'll keep doing that flip. There's a very small percentage that are now, because of the interest rates, they can't really refinance.
Numbers work.
Yeah, not yet.
But when the interest rates go down and the funds come out, they just buy to rent and to make them cash off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They, and you're taking money out of your pocket every month at this moment in time.
Did you guys have to deal with, like hurricanes or something like that in the middle of construction?
We do. So every time there's a hurricane coming through, we collect all our trash bins, so there's no trash flying around.
Yeah.
If there's drywall, we will block off that garage door if it's not already installed. No debris on the outside of the home. We clean up well.
And I always say this, and he always says this to realtors, but, you know, we know what we're doing here in community subdivisions, but it's good to always reiterate. There's been a lot of fraudulent activities
Oh, yeah.
with lots,
Ugh.
all around.
Yes.
So it's very important to do your due diligence on who's selling the lot, and, he helps you, but really I'm helping you guys as well. You know, picking a good title company, picking like a good attorney that really does their due diligence and checking that, the identity of the seller, and not just saying, hey, can I get 2 forms of ID, and believing those 2 forms of ID are legit. So, it's really been happening, and it's really important that we do our due diligence for our investors.
One thing that will help a little bit, Florida Realtors, you guys know I'm on the board of directors, we voted to give you all, it's forewarned. So anybody who knows the forewarn system, it's an app that you'll get. It usually costs, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks a month. You'll now have it for free. So look for it on Florida Realtors. You'll have to go and sign up using their codes. And what you do is you put in a phone number, you can put it in an email. It will research the customer, tell you if this customer has any kind of, you know, history of any kind of criminal activity. It'll tell you where they actually live. Oh yeah, Tasha's been using it for years. We had a guy who came in who was trying to give us a crypto offer. He lived in a trailer. We did it, the crypto offer was. But it's not, you know, gonna tell you everything, right? But if the person has no history at all, that's a fake person, right? You know that. Everybody has history. You know, even if you don't have any kind of traffic tickets, you show up on something. Like it has everything, every car you've ever owned. It shows everything about you. It's like, you know how they try to tell you to buy this background? That's what 411 does. It gives you everything about them for free. Well,
So
not
like,
free.
so
It's
what's
cheap.
happening there, a lot of places is basically, they use the name that's on the deed.
Yes,
They
and they
do
pretend to be
fake
that.
IDs with the name and
Except
the
they
address.
called you on a
number,
number that's
okay.
not theirs. And
Okay.
that's the point. By putting that phone number in, it won't match the name they're telling you.
I see.
That's where you could catch to say,
Okay.
wait a minute, you're saying you're Frederica, blah, blah, and you came in as, you know, Alice Jones.
Yeah.
Who's who,
Yeah,
right? You know, so
Yeah.
at least it gives you a heads up to then send it to the title company and say, I think we have a problem.
yeah.
So it just helps us be one way more diligent
Mhm.
than we were before, but it
There
is
was
a
a-
real issue.
There was $1 million lot on Cypress Preserve in Windsor here, lakefront on, I think it was like Lake Sheen. And I got a call from one of my clients, he's like, I want to buy this lot, I'm like, it's not listed on the MLS, so okay. So I call and it's like stupid weird accent,
Mhm.
so I actually got to the owner who's a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you know, your property's listed, right? He's like, no, he's like, for $1 million, not like, obviously not. I'm like, this, well, if you do wanna list for that, you know.
I mean,
I
no.
have time. But so somebody was trying to do that, and then I guess they use like a fake title company, because seller chooses the title company,
Yeah.
and then when you do the deposit, it goes straight into their
Mhm.
Personal account.
title company.
Mm.
That's good.
Well, what's worse, guys, we had a listing with, through Susan Abshire, and we had it under contract. And it was like, I don't know, million or something, and then the title company received a deposit for a contract that was only like $375,000 for the same lot. And I'm like, what the heck is this for? Somebody relisted on the MLS. How's that even allowable? A company out of California, one of those flat rate companies, it was a falsified listing on the MLS for our listing that we had under contract.
Wow.
We had to contact the FBI. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Well,
So, I mean, that's horrible. They were trying to resell it to other buyers.
Yeah.
yeah, we've had instances
Yeah.
where, not us, because we
Yeah.
do our due diligence, but builders I know, They bought 6 lots, they put up the houses, and then the owners
Oh,
took
no,
notice,
they did not.
and it was fraudulent, about $2.5 million just to
Yeah.
waste.
Yeah,
They put the houses up.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
you
yeah.
don't wanna put the house up and then it's resident.
And
Yeah.
you get calls, I don't know if you guys get calls, but, I'm in the area, so that, I don't know if they just know I'm in the area, but I get calls, hey, I wanna sell my lot.
Mm.
Like that as well, not just me going out and buying. And then, I'm like, okay, can you send me, 2 forms of ID and this and that? And then, the ID was like a very white, like, very older gentleman. And the person talking to me had a Jamaican accent.
You're like, okay. Yeah, but all this stuff is super, super real and it's happening and it's out there and we just have to really be, can you be held liable? Listen, if you sell it, they're gonna come after your commission, but but at the same token, we have to be super diligent. That's what we have, committed to do as being realtors, right? So,
So the best we can do is make sure that the title company does it, or. what
we wanna
can
make
do?
sure, we can also get to our title company.
Yeah.
Our title companies will research it for us, even
But
if.
if they're using, I don't know.
Doesn't matter,
like
doesn't
the-
matter, right? It's you.
If you're really that scared, what I say to the
Mhm.
sellers is, what I say to the agent representing the other side, like, I wanna pay for your title fee, and I wanna pay for title. So it usually on a lot, it's like around like max $1,000, but it's $1,000 that will give you peace of mind. And you'll then be able to do your due diligence in a title company that you feel safe in.
And then they'll probably go to you if they're bad.
Yeah.
Because they won't even go
Because
on.
they know that you know a little bit too much,
So there's
and you're
your
not
sign.
gonna be really taking advantage of. Well, we can't thank you enough, that was
Thank
so
you.
awesome, and while we're talking about this stuff, I went to a core law class with Nishad Khan, have to renew my license too, guys. And I just a couple of things I wanna go over that, I get these questions all the time, and now that we're talking about land, and we're talking about deeds. What deed, I love to ask this question, because I get this question all the time, what is the most encompassing type of deed? What does anybody else think, Andy?
By the entirety.
What is a statutory deed? Nobody
We
knows.
should
Right.
prefer the statutory deed, right?
It's called a statutory warranty deed. But, so if you look at it on a residential, everyone calls it a warranty deed. On a land contract, it's called a statutory deed.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, what the heck is that? They're the same thing. It's a statutory warranty deed. So you understand, that means that the seller is warranting this title. They're saying from the beginning of time to today, I warranty that you get all rights to this title, the full bundle of rights. Okay, that is what it is. So whether they call it a warranty deed or they call it a statutory deed, which sounds bizarre, they're the same thing.
I've got that where I checked out, especially in Ocala, like in Queen Sienna, they do a lot of warranty, checking out the warranty on the contract. And then when I'm doing
Land.
land in Ocala, I just went ahead when I started, did the warranty as well. And a lot of the agents came after me as if I didn't know anything and said, hey, no, it's statutory, like it.
Because it's the same thing, but they don't know
Like-
either.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Yeah, so
Well, how many
that's
different kinds are there? Statutory,
that it is a
reclaimed?
statutory warranty deed. There's 3 kinds. So we're gonna, thank you for asking. Da-da-da. A special warranty deed. You can't answer because you know. Anybody know what it is?
Is like a foreclosure or something like that, where they sort of-
From the time they purchased the.
Turn.
Carrie, we can hear you.
there. Oh, wait, you know what? David, I probably have to mute.
Thank
Okay,
you.
then I don't have to mute you. Okay, guys, sorry, did you guys hear that? So a statutory
No.
warranty deed is the whole thing. So it doesn't matter if it's called a warranty deed or it's called a statutory deed, they're the exact same thing. That is a full deed that covers the full bundle of rights from the time it came into existence to now. A special warranty deed is used by builders, and what they're saying is we're only guaranteeing it for as long as we've owned it. So from whatever happened before we owned it, if we've only owned it since the beginning of January 2023 to now, that's all we're guaranteeing it for. So we're not guaranteeing it for any time before that. That's the special warranty deed, and every builder uses this, just so you know. Interesting, interesting. How many of you knew that? Nobody. And a quitclaim deed. It doesn't warranty anything. That's a lot of foreclosures. I'm down in the Bahamas. I have a piece of land and I sell it to Emily, and then I sell it to Ohana, and then I sell it to Seda, and I sell it to Flavia. Who owns the land?
The person who files it.
The person who, the squatter who's already sitting on it. If the public knew about it for 7 years, it's true, but it's whoever records that first who owns it. But the buyer assumes all risk. Now, what you need to know is a lot of times people will use quitclaim deeds. Like, I mean, I've heard of realtors, better not be my realtors, but I've heard of realtors recommending, hey, I can help you do a quitclaim deed because you want to add somebody. Let's just add somebody to it with a quitclaim deed. Guess what? When you do that, they reset your taxes. Yeah. So if you own this since 2002 and you're like, oh, we'll just add your son to this, no problem. You're now paying taxes as of 2023. Do you think your tax bill is going to be anything close like to what it is from it was? No. And they're not going to like you very much when their tax bill has quadrupled. Right? So you've got to be really careful before, especially as a realtor, do not be playing around with a quitclaim deed. Now, if you use a quitclaim deed to change an individual's name, if you're trying to just change their name to a company name, you want to put it into an LLC, you think, no big deal, we'll just do a quitclaim deed and put it into an LLC or a trust. And you're doing it, you're not doing it with an actual attorney. You can actually null and void the title policy. So God help you. If you thought you had a good warranty deed, then somebody comes after it and you're like, I have a title policy. No, you don't, because you put it into the deed or trust by yourself because you thought you were an attorney, because you tried to play one on TV. And now you don't have a title policy because the title policy only warranted the name. Ohana Martins, not Ohana Martins LLC, not Ohana Martins Deed and Trust. So be very careful if you talk to somebody who's recorded it one way and now has a different deed. And you're like, ask them who did that. Because if it was done by another person who was not an attorney, you better make sure that it was done correctly and they still have a title policy. Because
So
they
if
may
an
not.
attorney does it, they know how to do it.
Yeah,
so you
well, we
can't
hope
say-
so. But yeah,
What about the CPA? Same thing?
yeah, we hope so. They should. That's their job, right? But there's rules and regulations that go with how to do this the proper way. But the person who really should be doing any type of quitclaim deeds and use them to make modifications would be an attorney. That's who I would go to for any kind of changing like that. But yeah, the CPA. Okay, here's a question. I love you guys playing with me today. A man owns a property and then 5 years later marries and never adds his wife to the property. But a year later, they're getting a divorce. And she says, listen, we haven't been married that long. You can keep the property. So he has to go to sell it. And you're the listing agent. Does he have to add the current wife because they're not divorced yet to the listing? Who thinks yes? Who thinks no?
Can you put it on the title?
Never did.
No.
Who thinks yes? Who thinks no? Who's not playing? Okay. Well, here's the first question. Do you want to get paid? Okay, that's the first question. You bet he does. Because of Florida homestead exemption. There's two big things you got to understand. In the state of Florida, you're either married or you're not. They don't know separated. They don't know, in the middle of a divorce, you're either married or you're not. So whether you're getting divorced, whether she says you can have the property, none of that means anything. As soon as they became married, it's now a marital asset. And now she owns 50% of that property.
Only for homestead or?
Only for the primary residence.
Only for the primary.
If it was for an, investment property, it wouldn't matter. So it's part of our Article 10 of the our state constitution. And the best thing about it was it keeps the individual from losing everything, right? So that's what they first did to get people to come down here and invest. That's why ours is better than everybody's. There's a lot of states that have homestead, but ours is better than everybody's because they wanted to get people to come down to Florida, and everybody was scared about the swampland, right? Because there was all those horrible scams that happened. So that's where they came up with the homestead exemption. That's where it sort of came from. So if you get sued down here, you'll never lose your primary residence. It protects the property from being transferred and conveyed without both parties agreeing. That's the point. Whether you're getting divorced or not, you're still married. They both have to agree. So if they want to lease, sell, do anything to it, they can't do it unless they both sign. Which is why if they're married and they're buying a property together, that's why the banks always make you sign off on the homestead exemption, because you've got the notes, the promissory note, right? And the mortgage, which is, the actual document, right? And they make you actually sign that mortgage, because in the state of Florida, homestead, you own it, 50% of it. So you have the unlimited right of the property. Now, the only thing that can supersede that is the IRS, God help us, and the government. They don't follow any rules. They can do whatever they want, right? Now, number 2, the spouse has to sign whenever it is transferred. Number 3, you have the $50,000 tax exemption, and it can only be assessed 3% increase annually. So whatever your taxes were, let's say you bought a home in 2000. Next year, it can only increase 3%. Next year, it can only increase 3%. It doesn't matter if the area has increased 100%. Your taxes can only increase 3%, 3%, 3%, which brings up the fourth and most exciting thing that I guarantee most of you don't even know about does Homestead has. Does anybody know about something called portability?
Yes.
Okay, does anybody talk about portability with their customers? Okay, you do? Who else does? You do? Of course Maria does. Maria, I would hope so. Anybody else here? Because portability,
No, I filed homestead, but I had no idea about portability.
portability is huge, because if you owned a home since 2000 and your taxes only increased 3,000, 3,000, and 3,000, imagine the difference between the actual assessed value if you go to sell it in 2023 and what you're actually paying. It's a big difference.
Aren't there some counties that it's different for the portability, or can it go from county?
No, it's
Nope,
all Florida.
state of Florida.
Okay.
And you don't have to use it immediately, because what if you're not going to buy a home immediately? It can sit on hold for 3 years, but you have to use it within 3 years. And you could do this unlimited amount of times. If you choose to move every year, I don't know why you would, but if you did, you could, you won't have much portability, right? But you could move this portability around unlimited number of times. It's not like you've used your portability twice now, you're out of luck. No, there's no time limit on how many times you can move it. So here's some examples. If you had a market value home of 200,000, your assessed value was 125, you have $75,000 benefit. Now you have a new home you buy for 400. They subtract the $75,000 that you have already saved, right? And now you get a new assessed value on that home. Then they add to it the $50,000 discount, and now you are paying $275 for your tax. So it's like you start ahead with a new tax bill. So your assessed home. So, and then if you they're showing you, what if you downsize, right? So if your home was 300, you had an assessed value of 180, you have $120,000 savings. Now you downsize to a home that was 175. You bought, I don't know what, right? But you can't take the whole amount. So it's a portion of that amount. I forget the percentage. But anyway, you take a portion, I think it's 38%, or so it's like some weird number. So they subtracted 70,000. So now your assessed value is only 105. Again, minus the 50, right? So now you're only sitting there paying what, 55 or whatever? How great is that? That's a way to keep it super affordable. So it's not like, okay, I had all this tax savings and now I got to start over fresh. You don't. You get to bring what you've already saved with you. So it's like whenever you started here in Florida, all that savings didn't go to waste. You get to bring it with you.
And you would tell this to your mortgage loan officer?
You have, nope. When you
No.
file for homestead, there's a
Okay.
question on there about portability. You check it
Oh, okay.
and that's how you move it.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
So basically the people that made, I don't know, 400,000 now in their homes, they can.
Yeah, it's not the value of the home, it's the money that they saved in their taxes because it only increased 3%, right? What's the difference between you've been paying in the assessed value and what the increase of the actual value is? That's your portability. So if your home, you should have been paying 400, you're only paying 200, your portability is 200,000. They're gonna subtract that as long as your home price is higher, right? They're going to subtract that from your new assessed value, 600, let's say the new assessed value. So now it's going to be 400 minus the 50,000 you'd already get from homestead. So now you're down to 350 as your new assessed value on a $600,000 home.
And where do you get the numbers from?
They're already recorded. You get them every year on your tax
So,
bill.
okay, so it has nothing to do with the price that they will sell it for.
No, well, they say no, but it is a reflection, right?
Okay.
Because when your house sells or you record a quitclaim deed wrong, they reassess your taxes, right? But every year you see there's an actual assessed value of what the home would go for, if it was a new home that was being sold.
In Orange County, OCPA.
Yeah.
FL has a fabulous estimator.
Yes,
that
that's
you can
true
play-
for
you can
taxes.
Play with it, just play it for yourself.
So you could take your tax bill, see what your home is assessed at, and do a home as if it was a brand new home for that price. And you can see what that tax bill is, and then you can see what your portability would be. Subtract the new tax bill from what you're paying, that's your portability, essentially,
For
roughly.
Homestead, you have to file homestead by you have to be.
The
living there by
31st.
1st of January. but
Yes.
by the 1st of
You have to
March.
be living there by the December 31st.
And then
Mhm.
what if you do that and then you, I don't know, put the house up for renovation? Are you allowed to have
You can-
homestead in a house that is being completely renovated?
As long as it's your primary residence. Yeah, it's not a problem as long as it's your primary residence, but you can only have one primary residence. So you could be living somewhere, renting in a place, right? Or wherever you're staying while you're renovating, that's fine. But you can't go buy another house and claim that as your primary residence and have that one still as your primary residence. That's how you get caught. Only one, you can't claim homestead on two properties. Mhm. And then if you started renting that one and living somewhere else, they may catch you because they see that it's being rented. Now that's a fraudulent thing to do. And homestead will come after you.
Oh, if you rent your homestead, of course.
If you sell new homes, this happens all the time,
Uh-huh.
because they'll put estimator on site and it'll show really high taxes, when that's actually not what they're gonna be paying.
Yeah.
I have someone who's selling the home, that when they bought it at like 150,000, but now it's gonna sell about 540. So now they're buying another home, and the real cost is only about 350 on that new home. Their taxes are not based on that 350, it's based on that 23 years they had that old
Yeah.
home. So it makes, when you're on site, they're always gonna estimate your taxes too high than someone who's lived here for a while.
So anyone who's selling with us and buying with us, we should talk about portability.
We need to talk about portability. Unless they were owning in another state, then the portability doesn't carry state to state. It's only internal within Florida. And if they were leaving Florida, going somewhere else, they can't bring it with them either. It's
And you
only if
guys
you're
don't
staying within
forget,
Florida.
Always send your clients their homestead reminders to file for homestead, because if you miss it, you miss it. The county's not gonna.
Yeah, they don't care. You missed a whole year.
So make sure it's a great. touch
Bless you.
point. Always remind people, because.
Can you do it the
March
second year?
1st,
third year?
But
Yeah,
make
you can
sure
always
you're
apply
sending
later.
that
Yeah.
That's what I
out
thought
to
when
you
I
guys,
first
because
moved
I don't
out.
know how
Like,
many
you do it
times
the
I've
first
gone
year.
to
Nope.
reconnect somebody or done something, and they never
no.
filed homestead. They've been there like 3-4 years, and they're like, oh my God, my tax, like they had no idea.
And
So
listen,
make sure.
if you forgot to tell people, they have 3 years for portability. If you forgot to tell them 4 years ago, don't bring it up. Because you'll look bad. Okay, but 3 years, you're still good. Okay. So what's happening in Dr. Phillips? So this is last month versus last month a year ago, right? So last month they sold 66 homes versus 76. So, we're still down, but not terrible. Average sales price is still way up. Look, last year was 655. This year it was 742. Days on market though are sort of about even. There was 20 days on market last year and now it's 26. So we're kind of getting even. Lake Nona, this is a big difference in inventory. Last year we had 103 sales. This year is only 89. So that's a big difference, right? But the average sales price last year was $679, $989 in August, and this August was $733. So prices are not dropping, guys, but days on market are rising. 17 last year, 41 this year. Windermere, the average 76 homes were sold last year, 44. Windermere is seriously down with inventory. We need to bring up our inventory. The average sales price though was 920,000 last year. Guys, look, 1,289,000, almost 1,300,000. So our average sales price is way up in Windermere. We've got to get people to sell. We need to tell them, listen, guys, the listings are way down. People want to buy here and your average sales price is way up. If we can find you somewhere to live, do you want to think about moving? Because now is the time, right? This is like still a good story. But the days on market are up. They're 41 versus 20, but 41 days for a $1.3 million house. I mean, hello, people. Let's talk about that. That's not a big thing. Okay, Winter Garden was a little interesting, and it could have been one thing that threw it. I don't know, but the inventory is only 10 apart, 179 versus 169, but the average sales price tweaked down. So it was 659 last year, and it's 640. Not a big disparity, but surprising nonetheless. Days on market went from 19 to 28. That's the first time I've seen Winter Garden tweak down at all. So that was interesting. Maybe they sold more stuff in the old section. I can't talk about it. I don't know. Okay, Claremont, 160 last year versus 172 last year versus 160 last year versus 172. We actually sold more this year, so that's shocking. First place we did that, but the average sales price is up 448 to 469. Days on market are also up 17 days last year to 32. Ocala. So look at this, 673 we sold versus 587. So inventory's up. This is good. This is a good thing. It's starting to be a good market. I love it. We're actually flat here, which is interesting. But when you're selling more and your days on market's tweaking up a little, 55, but we have more inventory to sell, that's a good thing. And the average sales price is 305. That's what I'm saying. That's your average sales price all across Ocala. And look, we're selling things at 1.2. We have a $32 million sale under contract. I mean, there's things that are selling. We just closed the $4 million property. We have more things in Ocala over $1 million than we've ever had. There's over 30 sales that were above $1 million, not in the last month, but so far year to date. So there's a lot more things happening there. So those prices are going up. So happy birthday to Miss Flavia and Emily, Karen, Michelle, and Nick. Okay, woo! And then I want to say, remember Tuesday, be there or be square. It's at the Alfond Inn. Yeah, it's a good thing I reminded you. So the networking and breakfast starts at 8:30, but 9:30 is when the actual session starts. Budge will be there, Kathy Forrester will be there, Christine Newell will be there, everybody will be there. They're going to talk about all this really cool stuff we have for the end of the year. I'm not supposed to tell you because otherwise I get in trouble because they want to tell you, but it's going to be really cool. So be there. So it's going to be very exciting. And we really, again, I thank you for all of your support and just being as wonderful as you all are. And if there's anything I can do for you, I look forward to starting our business planning in October. Business planning month. And our media center is almost done. Claire, when are we getting that last thing?
Melissa ordered it. So.
It's on order. So it's almost done. So yay.
What is?
We're waiting for one last, what do we call it? Like a banner kind of thing? A backdrop.
Sotheby's logo backdrop.
Cool backdrop thing. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, the green screen. We got to figure out how to use it all. Yeah.
Backdrop is just so if you don't want to use a green screen, I don't know how. We got
Which we don't either, but we will figure it out. So
We gotta have Dave come do a video or something.
we would love that
Show us how.
because we need that because none of us know what to do with it.
Have like the video guy come for
Yeah.
some kind of session.
Can we? That would be good. We need people because we don't know what we're doing. I'm okay saying what I don't know. I know what I know. I know what I don't know. I can talk about deeds all day long. I can talk about contracts. Media room. No, Okay, thank you all for coming. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody online. Thanks for coming. Thank you, David, for being here. Thank you, Ahana and Anna. We appreciate it. All right.
Mary, can I petition something?